best savings accounts of August 2022, high yield savings accounts, okay? This would be a great spot to put your emergency fund, your personal savings, house savings, family savings, etc. If you're new here, I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloudnewssuite.com, and on this channel we talk all things money and personal development. So if that sounds up your alley, go ahead and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Let's get into this thing. So the first one here is SoFi. So SoFi Bank, they just recently became a national bank, and their rate here is 1.8%. 1.8% on the savings account and 1.8% on the checking account. They are by far and away offering the best rates on savings and checking. So for this 1.8%, let me just be clear, 1.8% per year APY, annual percentage yield, it's not good in terms of like growing your money, but it is way better than like 0.01, which is what Chase Bank would be offering, and that's what like Citibank and Bank of America and Wells Fargo would be offering. So if you're with one of those banks, one, you'll probably have no interest being paid to you at all, which is unfortunate. And two, you're probably paying account fees. And fees, it's my least favorite word. I hate fees. So to my knowledge, at least in terms of maintenance fees, they're very, very, very low fees, unless there's some weird hidden fees with any of these bank accounts I'm talking about here. SoFi definitely charges no fees, all right? So yeah, in order to get that 1.8% annual percentage yield, although it's not high, it is at least gonna help fight against inflation, which sadly inflation's at like a 40-year high, but regardless, it's better than 0.01. So this would be a good place to put, like, let's say you have a $10,000 emergency fund or a $5,000 emergency fund, or you like to put your house savings because you're gonna have to replace your roof someday into a savings account. This SoFi savings account would be a good spot for that. And what's really cool about this is they also have a checking account linked to it that is also 1.8%. In order to get that, you gotta have direct deposit. So that's the only like caveat, asterisk to it. But yeah, SoFi Bank's number one, and they've got this little infographic here that shows 1.8% on their SoFi savings and checking versus the average checking account of 0.03. Very impressive difference. Go ahead and check out SoFi if you're looking for a high yield savings account. Next one up is Ally Bank. So Ally Bank has a high yield savings account, and their high yield savings account gives you 1.4% on an annual basis. These numbers fluctuate as the Fed changes the Fed funds rate. That's a whole nother topic. But right now, as of recording this video, 1.4%, that might go up a little bit, that might go down a little bit. And I know from experience that the Ally interface is extremely clean. It's really nice. They've got these little things where you can put like buckets inside one account. You don't have to open a new account. You can say, okay, I've got this held aside for tax withholdings because I know I'm gonna have to pay tax in every April or every quarter, depending on how your income works. And you can say, oh, I want to buy a house, so I'm going to make this bucket called First House Fund, and I'm going to make this bucket called Rainy Day Fund or Emergency Fund. So you can have one account that has a bunch of different buckets in it, and they're all dedicated to different things, so you can have some separation. And it's easier to see your goals that way, in my opinion. So it's super cool. Those are free, obviously, no fee for that. So they get that little buckets feature, and it's really easy to open a checking account when you already have the savings account with Ally. And the checking account, it's not as good as the SoFi rate, but that checking account rate is 0.25% on an annual basis. Still really low, but it's better than nothing on a checking account. So Ally Bank's another one to look into. They're super transparent about what fees they do charge and what fees they don't charge. They definitely don't charge any maintenance fees. They don't charge any overdraft fees. They don't charge any ACH transfer fees, etc. They do charge some fees, but they list it out really clearly on their website. So I love Ally, and I've liked all their customer service experiences I've had with them. So if you're looking for an emergency fund place, check out Ally Bank. Next one up here, CIT Bank. Not Citibank, but CIT Bank. So they're given the biggest, second biggest on this list, maybe third biggest, 1.9% on their savings account, which is super cool. Only thing I don't love about CIT Bank, I don't know anyone that's ever banked with CIT Bank, so that just makes me a little nervous. I know I trust SoFi and I trust Ally more than I trust CIT, so that's why I put them first. But 1.9% ain't no joke. So, that's respectable. That's the best one we've seen so far. They have a $100 minimum. That's why I put it third, along with the fact that I don't know anyone that banks with them. $100 minimum. Is a $100 minimum a lot? No, but it is an account minimum. So Ally doesn't have an account minimum to get that 1.4. SoFi doesn't have an account minimum to get the 1.8 on the checking and savings. So CIT Bank would be another one up, 1.8%. Pretty much no fees as I can see it. And you do have to have that $100 minimum. So check out CIT Bank. Next one up here is the Barclays online savings account. So they say greater than 5 times the national average, all right, 1.65%. And it doesn't seem as though there is a limit on how much you have to have in order to get that 1.65%. So that's cool. It says no minimum balance to open, but for interest to post, your account must maintain a balance that would earn at least 1 cent. So that's not going to be too hard, hopefully. So yeah, good place to put the savings for a rainy day with Barclays, 1.65% APY, annual percentage yield. Next one up here, Discover. Discover, I love the Discover interface. It's very good, and I love their customer service. They're offering a 1.5%, not bad at all. No monthly fee, no insufficient fund, which would be overcharge fee, no minimum deposit opening, and they have a little interest calculator. Most of these websites have a little interest calculator. So yeah, 100% based, US-based customer service. I love that. It's always been a pleasure to talk with Discover anytime I needed to. So that 1.5% is definitely respectable. And if you go with the Discover It credit card from my last video, then it might be a good idea to go with Discover Bank so you can have everything, your credit card and your savings within one app. That could be cool. Check out Discover if you're looking for a spot for your emergency fund or regular savings. Next one up here is the Marcus account by Goldman Sachs. So this has been like one of the OG high yield savings accounts ever since I've been looking at high yield savings accounts. They've been in the mix. So the Marcus offers a 1.5% APY. There is no account minimum in order to get that 1.5%. And yeah, a very respectable bank. I mean, Goldman Sachs is no joke. They're one of the big dogs, arguably like number 2 or number 3 in the world. So good bank to get in with, for investment purposes or loans purposes or credit cards purposes. So Marcus is a great one. Marcus by Goldman Sachs. You know what else is by Goldman Sachs is the Apple Card from my last video with best credit cards for beginners. So it's a good one, 1.5%, very respectable yield. Not the highest on this list, but certainly respectable, something to look at. And then the last one is Ivy Bank. I found this 2.15% APY as of recording this video, which is the 4th of August. 2.15, that's pretty dang high. So they say market leading rates, they're not messing around, but there's a caveat. You have to have at least $2,500 to open the account. Once you've got that $2,500 in there, then you'll be getting that 2.15%. If you're living by yourself and you don't have that many expenses and your emergency fund is only $1,000 total, then this is just not going to work for you. So I couldn't put it as number 1, but 2.15% is very respectable. And they have another savings situation where it says 1 month treasury yield. They call it the indexed savings account, and it's got a 2% flat rate, which is also awesome, but it has that $2,500 opening balance. So yeah, and they've got little money management tools, nice little infographics so you can see where you're at on your savings goals, which is definitely some real stuff. So yeah, those are some of the high yield savings accounts that I'm looking at. I personally think that SoFi and Ally are at the top, even though Ally doesn't have the highest rates in the world, and SoFi didn't even have the highest rates on this list. SoFi had the savings and checking account at 1.8, and then everybody else, the checking account was really low. And I love Ally's customer service and interface, and then Discover customer service and interface is awesome too. But any of these are great options. Every single one of these accounts is FDIC insured up to $250,000. So these are legit banks. Probably not going to lose your money, high percentage chance. And if you do, the FDIC's got you back. All right, go ahead and open one of these accounts, boost your emergency fund savings. Let me know what you get in the comments, and have a great day.